Malaria, unfortunately, is a huge problem in sub-Saharan Africa. And the amount of children dying each year is absolutely unacceptable. And we know that families in these parts of the world, they are so used to this disease. And every year, I mean, it's become like a common flu or a common cold in Europe.
We can be really optimistic and we can be really pessimistic. So 15 years ago, somewhere near 1 million people were dying a year of malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. That has come down today to 430,000. And by any measure, that is absolutely an astonishingly bad number. It's also about the economic impact.
In some countries in Africa, there have been studies showing that in rural areas up to a third of a family's household income is actually spent on seeking treatment for malaria.
Children in school, people in jobs, the number of days lost. If you start adding up lives and economic impact, I think we really have an opportunity to pull these countries out of poverty.
Two of the most effective tools to prevent malaria morbidity and mortality are insecticide-treated bed nets and indoor residual spray.
We have resistance to those products. Many of the gains that we've seen across sub-Saharan Africa are likely to be lost if we get full-blown resistance to these products.
We constantly have to keep ahead of the game and come up with newer generation insecticides that are still effective.
So what we've been looking for and waiting for is a new class which we could use, and one that would allow for spraying just once a year rather than a couple times a year.
We set out to develop a product that was long-lasting, provides almost year-round protection, and therefore it allows some of the malaria control programs to make some significant cost savings.
It has been used in more than 16 countries already. Some of the countries it has been used for 3 years now.
What is really promising with the Syngenta product is that early use of it, for example in Ghana, has shown a dramatic decline in mortality and morbidity in the districts where it's been piloted.
So the introduction of Actelic 300CS was a blessing in a way, because we just had to do one round of spraying each year, and we have seen up to 9 months residual action in a lot of the communities where we monitored, and we have also seen a reduction in malaria transmission across the districts where we're spraying.
So that early promise is something that we want to obviously replicate in many more countries, generate further evidence that this is not just anecdotal, it's something that's generalizable to larger populations in many districts in many countries.
The product performs very, very well. This has now become the insecticide that we are using with the PMI AIRS project in all of the country spray programs.
For Syngenta, this has been a huge journey, not only because of financial commitment into what is seen as a fairly risky business, but also a commitment to really improving people's lives all over Africa, and that's the most important thing.
We actually saving people's lives, and that's something, of course, I'm extremely proud of to being part of that.
Actelic is being used in over 15 countries across sub-Saharan Africa, countries which have very low GDP, have significant wealth challenges, and if we can have a direct impact on health and therefore allow those countries to become prosperous, then for me that is an amazing story. But you take it down to the communities where malaria is a big challenge for children under 5 years old. They're the ones that have the highest mortality rate. And so, you are protecting children and you're protecting the future of some of these communities. So you can't underestimate the impact that, products like Actelic as an indoor residual spray can have.